Imagine this. You're sitting at breakfast, feeling proud of that healthy yogurt cup in your hand. Low fat, fruity, packed with protein. It looks perfect. But what if I told you that spoonful might be aging your gut, draining your energy, and even weakening your bones? Most yogurts today look nutritious on the outside, but inside, many are stripped of what your body actually needs after 60. Today, I'm not just showing you which yogurts to avoid. I'll show you the 4 kinds your body will thank you for every single day. And trust me, one of them might be sitting quietly in your fridge right now, waiting to change your health. Let's start with what not to put on your spoon, because knowing the worst is the first step toward feeling your best. Walk into any grocery store and you'll see them everywhere. Greek, low-fat, frozen, high-protein, organic, probiotic, Icelandic, drinkable. The list goes on and on. There must be well over a dozen different types lining those cold shelves, and every single one promises something. Better digestion, stronger bones, more energy, a healthier you. But here's what most people don't realize. Out of all those options, only a handful actually deliver on those promises, especially if you're over 60. You see, yogurt wasn't always like this. For thousands of years, it was medicine, a living fermented food used to heal digestion, support immunity, and keep bones strong well into old age. But somewhere along the way, the food industry realized something powerful. People were afraid of fat, and they loved sweet flavors, so they rewrote the recipe entirely. They pulled out the natural fats that made yogurt satisfying and nutritious. They killed off the living bacteria through excessive heat and processing, and in their place, sugar, thickeners, synthetic flavors, cultures that barely survive past your stomach. What we're left with today is a product that looks like yogurt, is marketed as health food, but in many cases acts more like dessert. And for those of us over 60, when metabolism slows, digestion weakens, and inflammation becomes our biggest invisible enemy, these modern yogurts can quietly accelerate aging from the inside out. Think about it. After 60, your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Your gut bacteria start to thin out. Your muscles need more support to stay strong. Your bones need better calcium absorption. And your immune system, it's working overtime just to keep up. The last thing you need is food that inflames, confuses, or starves the very systems trying to protect you. So, which yogurts are doing the damage? Let's talk about the first one, and it's probably the most popular choice in the dairy aisle: low-fat fruit yogurts. They sound perfect, don't they? Heart-healthy, light, packed with vitamins from real fruit. But here's the truth hidden behind that cheerful label. When manufacturers strip away the fat, they also strip away the taste and texture that makes yogurt satisfying. So, what do? They load it up with sugar, sometimes more sugar than a candy bar, corn syrup, fruit concentrates, artificial sweeteners like sucralose. It all goes in to make up for what the fat used to provide. And for seniors, that's a metabolic disaster. Research from major universities has shown that older adults who regularly consume low-fat dairy face a significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those eating full-fat versions. Why? Because without that natural fat to slow things down, your body absorbs all that sugar way too fast. Your insulin spikes, your energy crashes, and over time, your muscles stop responding to protein the way they should, a condition doctors call anabolic resistance. That's one big reason why so many seniors keep losing muscle even when they think they're eating well. But there's more. That natural fat in traditional yogurt isn't just filler. It actually helps your body absorb calcium, vitamin D, and protein more effectively. When you remove it, you're not just removing calories. You're removing the delivery system your bones and muscles need to stay strong. Let me tell you about Ruth. She's in her late 60s, lives in a quiet neighborhood in Ohio. Every morning, she'd stir a light berry yogurt into her breakfast routine, convinced she was doing her heart a favor by choosing the fat-free option. But after several months, her doctor pulled her aside during a checkup. Her triglycerides had doubled. She was stunned. How could something with zero fat be making her gain fat? The answer was in the sugar, over 20 grams per serving, hiding under names like fructose concentrate and natural flavoring. Her body was treating that yogurt like candy, storing it as fat because it came without the natural fats that would have told her body, "Okay, You're satisfied now. Stop eating. If you're over 60, your body doesn't need less fat. It needs the right kind of fat. Real, full-fat yogurt keeps you full longer, stabilizes your blood sugar, and supports the hormones that protect your muscles and bones. Now, if you think sugar-packed yogurt is bad, the next one looks creamy, luxurious, and rich, but its hidden contents can wreck your gut and joints faster than you think. Flavored Greek yogurts. These have become the symbol of clean eating, haven't they? Thick, protein-rich, European-inspired. But here's the dark side most people never see. Many flavored Greek yogurts aren't thick because of how they're made. They're thick because of what's been added. Gums, thickeners, ingredients like carrageenan, which comes from seaweed and is used to create that creamy texture you love. The problem? Research in food science journals has linked carrageenan to gut inflammation, especially in older adults whose digestive systems are already more sensitive. Your gut lining isn't just a wall, it's a smart filter that decides what enters your bloodstream and what stays out. When that lining gets inflamed, tiny particles of food and bacteria can start leaking through, a condition often called leaky gut. And once that happens, your immune system goes haywire. You get fatigue, joint pain, even brain fog. Many seniors assume they're just getting older, but they're actually dealing with chronic inflammation caused by the very foods they thought were helping. There's a man named Frank, 71 years old, living out in Arizona. After his morning workouts, he'd reward himself with a blueberry protein Greek yogurt. "It makes me feel strong," he'd tell his wife. But after a few months, his digestion started falling apart. Severe bloating, irregular bowel movements. His gut bacteria diversity, measured in a stool test, had plummeted. His doctor traced it back to the so-called natural blueberry flavor in his yogurt, which wasn't from blueberries at all. It was a blend of synthetic compounds and preservatives that had slowly sterilized his gut. And there's another issue with Greek yogurt most people don't know about. To make it thick, manufacturers strain out the whey, the liquid part. That's fine if it's done traditionally, but in doing so, they also remove a lot of the lactose and some of the calcium, making it less balanced for bone health compared to regular yogurt. Add in ultra-high protein levels, boosted by powdered milk concentrates, and your kidneys, especially older kidneys that process protein more slowly, start taking a hit. Studies from nutrition journals have found that adults eating sweetened Greek yogurt daily had higher levels of C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation, compared to those eating plain versions. So if you're reaching for Greek yogurt, make sure it's plain, unsweetened, and made the traditional way, not pumped full of additives pretending to be fruit. But some yogurts take this even further, turning nutrition into chemistry. Artificial protein yogurts. These are the new fitness darlings, sleek packaging, bold claims like 20 grams of protein and 0 sugar. They look like the future of healthy eating, but here's the truth. Many of them are barely yogurt at all. They're ultra-processed blends of milk protein, isolate, gelatin, and artificial sweeteners, stripped of the live cultures that make real yogurt beneficial in the first place. Research published in food science journals found that over half of these high-protein yogurts contain far fewer live probiotic colonies than traditional fermented yogurts, sometimes 1,000,000 times fewer. Without those living bacteria, you're not feeding your gut microbiome. You're just eating lab-modified protein pudding. And when you're over 60, that matters more than ever. Your gut bacteria diversity is already shrinking with age, which weakens your immune system, slows digestion, and increases inflammation throughout your body. Artificial sweeteners like acesulfame K and sucralose, common in these yogurts, act almost like antibiotics, killing off the good bacteria that protect you from metabolic disorders and chronic disease. There's a gentleman in California, 66 years old, named Leonard. He proudly told his doctor he'd replaced breakfast with a 0-sugar protein yogurt, thinking he was making a smart choice. But within a few months, he started feeling off. Fatigue, dizziness, irregular digestion. A stool test revealed severe microbial imbalance. That sweetener blend in his yogurt had essentially sterilized his gut, wiping out the beneficial bacteria he needed to stay healthy. If you're after protein, real fermented dairy or kefir provides it naturally, along with bioavailable calcium and B vitamins your body can actually use. These protein yogurts might seem like progress, but they're engineered for shelf life and marketing appeal, not for your health span. And then there's one that sounds harmless, maybe even refreshing, but it's quietly robbing your gut. Frozen yogurt. It feels like a treat, doesn't it? Light, cold, guilt-free. The name itself tricks you into thinking it's just chilled yogurt with all the probiotics and calcium intact. But here's the catch. Most frozen yogurts have almost no live cultures left at all. The freezing process, combined with pasteurization and flavoring, destroys nearly every beneficial bacterium that real yogurt offers. A study analyzing commercial frozen yogurts found that the vast majority contained live bacteria, counts 1,000,000-fold lower than regular yogurt. That means your gut gets almost zero benefit. What you do get? Sugar, lots of it. A single serving can pack over 30 grams of added sugar, enough to spike your insulin, fuel belly fat, and trigger the kind of inflammation that's especially dangerous for seniors with slower metabolisms and shrinking muscle mass. High sugar doesn't just affect your waistline. It damages your arteries, feeds harmful gut bacteria, clouds your thinking, and exhausts your immune system. For someone over 60, that's not just about weight. It's about your risk for diabetes, chronic fatigue, joint pain, and cognitive decline. There's a woman named Elaine, 69, who lives in Texas. Every Sunday after church, she'd treat herself to a low-fat, vanilla frozen yogurt at the mall. It felt like a reward, something sweet but sensible. But within a year, she started noticing her knees swelling, her energy crashing by mid-afternoon, and her digestion slowing to a crawl. Her doctor didn't mince words. It wasn't aging, it was inflammation. And that healthy treat was feeding it every single week. Many fat-free frozen yogurts also replace cream with emulsifiers and thickening gums, which research has linked to gut permeability. That's a sciencey way of saying they can make your gut leak toxins into your bloodstream. For a senior trying to stay strong, clear-minded, and energetic, frozen yogurt is a wolf in sheep's clothing. So those are the 4 you should skip, no matter how pretty the packaging looks. Now, let's flip the story, because the right yogurts can truly turn back the clock inside your gut. If there's one yogurt that deserves a quiet comeback in the diets of people over 60, it's goat milk yogurt. For decades, it sat in the shadows, overshadowed by cow's milk products. But science is now catching up to what traditional cultures have known for centuries. Goat milk is gentler, richer in key nutrients, and far easier on aging stomachs. What makes it special isn't just the taste, it's the structure. Goat milk contains smaller fat molecules and forms a softer curd when it ferments, which means your digestive system doesn't have to work nearly as hard to break it down. For seniors dealing with weaker digestion or sensitive stomachs, that difference can mean the shift from daily bloating to genuine comfort. Research in dairy science has shown that goat milk yogurt can improve calcium absorption by about a quarter compared to cow's milk yogurt, thanks to better bioavailability of minerals like magnesium and phosphorus. After 60, when your body's natural ability to absorb calcium starts declining and bone loss accelerates, that boost matters a lot. The same studies found that goat yogurt also increases beneficial gut bacteria like Lactobacillus acidophilus, the exact strain responsible for strengthening immunity and calming inflammation. In other words, it doesn't just feed you, it heals you from the inside. There's a man in a small Greek mountain village, 74 years old, named Nikos, who swears by his daily bowl of homemade goat yogurt drizzled with honey. When doctors tested his bone density, they were stunned. It matched someone 20 years younger. His secret? Not supplements, not medication. Just the natural prebiotics and probiotics in that tangy, unprocessed yogurt that kept his gut young and his muscles responsive. Unlike heavily processed cow yogurts, goat milk yogurt works with your biology, not against it. It doesn't bloat, it nourishes. It doesn't spike your sugar, it steadies your energy. If you're rebuilding strength, bones, or gut health after 60, goat milk yogurt is one of the most powerful allies you can put on your spoon. Now, let's meet the yogurt that balances strength and stability beautifully. If there's one yogurt that's truly earned its reputation as a superfood for seniors, it's plain full-fat Greek yogurt. Not the sugary flavored kinds dominating supermarket shelves, but the traditional version. Strained, creamy, alive with cultures. What makes it exceptional is balance. It's high in protein, rich in probiotics, and naturally low in lactose, supporting the 2 systems that matter most after 60, your muscles, and your gut. Unlike most high-protein yogurts today, real Greek yogurt is made through a natural straining process that concentrates protein without destroying the beneficial bacteria your body craves. Every spoonful delivers powerful probiotic strains like Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus, which help digest lactose and restore gut balance. Better gut health means better absorption of every nutrient you eat, and that's the foundation of energy, sharp thinking, and strong immunity. In a quiet coastal town in Spain, there's a 70-year-old man named Carlos. A few years back, he started replacing his nightly snack with a simple bowl of plain Greek yogurt topped with a handful of walnuts. Within weeks, he noticed something remarkable. His digestion smoothed out. His blood sugar levels stabilized. His doctor even noted improvements in his triglyceride readings. "It felt like my body was finally working with me again," Carlos said. His transformation didn't come from medicine. It came from restoring the bacterial harmony inside his gut. Plain full-fat Greek yogurt also contains conjugated linoleic acid, or CLA, a natural fatty acid linked to improved bone density and reduced inflammation. It's living proof that fat isn't the enemy. The right kind of fat heals. So when you're standing in that dairy aisle, skip the fruit-flavored versions and reach for the plain one. It's your gut's daily repair kit, hiding in a humble container. But what if your gut needs deeper repair, something that rebuilds from the inside out? If Greek yogurt is the strong foundation of gut health, kefir yogurt is the repair crew that rebuilds what time and age have worn down. This ancient fermented drink, sometimes called the yogurt that never sleeps, contains upwards of 30 different probiotic strains, far more than regular yogurt. For seniors, that diversity is everything. As you age, your gut microbiome naturally shrinks, which weakens immunity, slows digestion, and cranks up inflammation throughout your body. Kefir floods your gut with friendly bacteria that restore balance, fight off harmful microbes, and even create essential vitamins like B12 and K2 right inside your intestines. Research from microbiology journals found that older adults who consume kefir daily for a few months experience significant improvements in gut bacterial diversity and sharp drops in inflammation. Markers like C-reactive protein. Participants also reported better bowel regularity, more energy, and less joint discomfort. Why such dramatic results? Because kefir doesn't just pass through. It colonizes your gut, meaning the bacteria actually take up residence and multiply. There's a woman in Chicago, 72 years old, named Margaret. She started replacing her evening tea with a glass of kefir yogurt before bed. Within 2 months, her bloating vanished. Her sleep deepened. Her chronic joint pain, something she'd lived with for years, began to ease. "I didn't know my gut could feel this calm," she told her doctor, who later confirmed her inflammation markers had dropped by nearly half. Kefir also dramatically improves calcium absorption, which helps maintain bone density, a hidden but critical benefit for seniors at risk of fractures. It's tangy, slightly effervescent, and alive in every sense of the word. If your gut has been crying out for repair, kefir is the closest thing to a natural prescription you'll find. And now, the simplest and most powerful one of all, the yogurt that reconnects us to how food used to heal. If there's one yogurt that deserves to be crowned the ultimate longevity food, it's homemade plain yogurt, the simplest, purest, and most powerful form of all. While store-bought yogurts are mass-produced, heavily pasteurized, and loaded with stabilizers, homemade yogurt is alive. It's brimming with living bacteria, natural enzymes, and unaltered nutrients your body recognizes instantly. For seniors over 60, that recognition is the secret. You're feeding your gut the way nature intended, without chemicals, without shortcuts, without compromise. Studies on fermented foods have shown that homemade yogurt can contain up to 100 times more live probiotic colonies than commercial brands, and none of the artificial sweeteners or emulsifiers that destroy gut balance. These living cultures improve digestion, enhance calcium and magnesium absorption, and strengthen your intestinal barrier, protecting against the inflammation that fuels arthritis, heart disease, and cognitive decline. What's truly remarkable about homemade yogurt is its simplicity. All it takes is warm milk, a starter culture, and patience. Yet the transformation inside that jar mirrors exactly what can happen inside your body. Renewal. When you make your own yogurt, you control the fat level, the fermentation time, and most importantly, the quality of the bacteria. Longer fermentation creates a tangier flavor and even more probiotics, while the natural fats help stabilize your hormones and support brain health. Homemade yogurt is more than food. It's living medicine. It restores what time takes away: balance, ease of digestion, vitality. If you want to feel younger from the inside out, start with something ancient: a spoon, a jar, and real living yogurt made in your own kitchen. Because sometimes the most powerful medicine doesn't come from a pharmacy. It comes quietly from your own counter. Now that you know the best and worst, let's connect the dots. Your gut isn't just where food gets broken down. It's your body's control tower. Everything from your mood to your muscle strength, from your bone density to your immune response, begins in that complex ecosystem living inside you. When your gut is balanced, inflammation stays low, nutrients get absorbed efficiently, and your whole system hums along. But when it's out of balance, flooded with sugar, stripped of bacteria, or damaged by additives, everything suffers. Think of your gut like the roots of a tree. If the roots are healthy, the tree stands tall, grows strong, bears fruit. But if those roots are starved, poisoned, or neglected, the whole tree starts to wither, no matter how much you water the leaves. After 60, your gut needs more care, not less. The bacteria that keep you healthy start thinning out naturally with age, which is why choosing the right foods becomes so critical. The good news? It's never too late to rebuild from within. Every spoonful of real living yogurt sends reinforcements to your gut: probiotics that calm inflammation, nutrients that feed your bones, fats that stabilize your energy. You don't need expensive supplements or complicated meal plans. You just need to make one simple, smart choice every single day. Let's wrap this up, and I'll tell you how to make the most of this daily habit. So here's what we've uncovered today: the 4 worst yogurts to avoid after 60. Low-fat fruit yogurts loaded with sugar that spike your blood sugar and starve your muscles. Flavored Greek yogurts pumped full of gums and synthetic flavors that inflame your gut lining. Artificial protein yogurts stripped of live cultures and laced with sweeteners that kill good bacteria. And frozen yogurt, a sugar bomb masquerading as a health food that offers almost zero probiotic benefit. And the 4 best. Goat milk yogurt, gentle and rich in bioavailable calcium, perfect for sensitive digestion. Plain, full-fat Greek yogurt, a balanced powerhouse of protein and probiotics that supports muscles and gut together. Kefir yogurt, the ultimate gut rebuilder, packed with dozens of live strains that colonize and heal. And homemade plain yogurt, the purest, most powerful form. Living medicine you can make in your own kitchen. The core message is simple: choose living food over processed promises. Your body knows the difference, even if the marketing tries to fool you. So here's my challenge to you. Open your fridge tomorrow morning and really look at your yogurt. Is it feeding your body or fooling it? Read that ingredient list. If you see sugar listed in the first 3 ingredients or names you can't pronounce, put it back. Reach for the plain stuff. Add your own fruit, a drizzle of honey, a handful of nuts. Take back control of what you're putting into your body. If this video helped you see food differently, tap that like button and share it with someone who deserves to feel better too. Maybe it's a friend who's struggling with energy, or a family member dealing with digestive issues, or a neighbor who's trying to stay strong as they age. This information could change their life, and it only takes 1 click to pass it along. And don't forget to subscribe, because every week we uncover simple science-backed ways to help you stay stronger, sharper, and full of life after 60. We're not here to sell you anything or complicate your life. We're here to give you the truth, clearly and kindly, so you can make better choices starting today. Now, tell me in the comments, what's in your fridge right now? Are you Team Greek yogurt, or have you been fooled by the low-fat labels? Have you ever tried goat milk yogurt or made your own at home? Maybe you've got a story like Ruth or Frank or Margaret, someone whose health turned around when they changed this one simple thing. Share it below. We read every single comment, and we reply like we're talking to a friend, because that's exactly what this is. A conversation, not a lecture. Your next great health change might just start with breakfast. 1 bowl, 1 choice, 1 spoonful of real, living food that your body recognizes and celebrates. You've made it 6 decades or more on this planet. You deserve to feel vibrant, not just survive. And the truth is, your gut has been waiting for you to pay attention. It's been sending signals, the bloating, the fatigue, the aches you thought were just part of getting older. But now you know better. Aging doesn't have to mean declining. It can mean refining, getting smarter, more intentional, more connected to what truly nourishes you. And it starts with something as humble as yogurt, not the flashy kind with the celebrity endorsements, not the one that promises miracles in bold letters, but the quiet, simple kind that's been healing people for thousands of years. So tomorrow morning, when you sit down to breakfast, remember, you're not just eating, you're rebuilding. You're choosing strength over convenience, healing over hype, life over labels. And that, my friend, is the most powerful decision you can make. Now it's your turn. What did you learn today that surprised you? What are you going to change? Let's keep this conversation going. Drop your thoughts, your questions, your stories in the comments. We're here, we're listening, and we genuinely care because your health matters, your story matters. And together, we're proving that it's never, ever too late to feel better. Thanks for watching.